Hello heroes, Joe Smith here. Joe Smith's going to try to be a little bit quieter than usual. There's some deer out in the field behind here. And try not to scare the deer away. But, what is it? Maybe you guys noticed, but past several years, if you guys notice, the media has all these cold words and cold phrases, especially the Democrats and the left. And it's just getting to the point where it's like ridiculous for that. Like, of course, well, like nowadays you got woke, where the fuck that means, and toxic. Oh, your opinions are toxic. This toxic workplace. This is toxic. That's toxic. Everything's toxic. And they come up with these words and phrases, catchphrases, kind of. It's like they all got their own damn catchphrases. And for like cold phrases, cold words, or that. And like some of the ones in the past have been, well, like if you add employees or try to hire employees, they'd be like, well, can you keep me busy? Can you keep me busy? And of course, first day at work, they every 5 minutes say, well, I gotta go take another 20-minute smoke break. Well, how the hell am I supposed to keep you busy? Chop your hands off? Put a gun to your head so you can't smoke? So you keep working? Is that why you asked me to keep you busy? If I could keep you busy? Or like others have been like, it's not my job, not my problem. After they ask for more pay, higher pay, or more hours or something or other, and then you offer them more work to do, more tasks, and then they're like, well, that's not my job. Got tired of hearing that. Just start firing everyone as soon as they say it the first time. And oh yeah, one of Joe Smith's favorite catchphrases. I got bills to pay and mouths to feed. Yeah, you know. No rest for the wicked, 'cause money don't grow on trees. The Casey Outfit song, yeah, after that song kind of became famous, and then all the employees or applicants, after the employees, they call in sick or crazy ass excuses. I got a flat tire, my car won't start. Or the next day it's like, someone broke into my ex-girlfriend's storage shed. I got to help her do a police report because she's not a grown-up woman yet. She's not a big girl yet to do her own police reports. And it's going to take us all day to do it too, because she had a lot of stuff in that storage shed. Or else they were always having to fly their kids halfway across the state to the Little Rock Children's Hospital, claiming that their grandma or aunt or uncle or someone in Texas or California had a heart attack and was in the hospital, so they can't work today. Like, well, you going to fly there and do heart surgery? Are you a heart surgeon on the side or something? If not, get your El Negro ass or your white ass to work, white boy. But they come up with these crazy excuses why they can't work every day of the week, their first week. And then in the week, they're like, okay, I'm ready to pick up my check. How much did I make? And it's like, well, it shows that you never once showed up and never worked any hours, so you have zero pay for this week. Well, goddamn you, mofo. I got bills to pay and mouths to feed. You gave me a guarantee that I would make this much. Yeah, well, yeah, if you show the fuck up, Negro. But yeah, I got bills to pay, got mouths to feed. That's kind of another one of the catchphrases. Well, nowadays we got some new catchphrases, and don't know, maybe you guys heard them or picked up on it, or maybe you're getting confused when you keep hearing the lamestream media, the left media, um, with their fake news, using these terms and phrases. Well, um, kind of similar to when we had all the mass shootings and school shootings. If it's a rich white kid or a white guy that did the mass shooting, it's like someone with history of mental illness was suspect. Or suspect is someone with history of mental illness. That's all we know right now. Well, yeah, that was their code word for the shooter is white. The school shooter is white. Or if the like office place shooter or mall shooter or whatever was a Muslim or Middle Eastern person or African or Asian, then it's like, oh, it was an act of terrorism. So that was kind of how you knew at the time if the shooter was white or not white. When they would say that the shooter has a history of mental illness, well, they're telling you that the shooter is white. But they couldn't just flat out say the shooter is white. They had to come up with a code word, because just saying the shooter is a rich white kid or a white guy, well, that would have been inappropriate. So they came up with this idea of saying the shooter had a history of mental illness to let you know it's a white guy. Or the shooter was a terrorist, let you know it wasn't a white guy. Well, now, if we have someone get murdered and the shooter is a black person, they're using that it was just a jogger jogging by or something. If like a criminal is a black person, not necessarily a shooter, but if it was like a robber, if the criminal is a robber, if there's a burglary or an armed robbery or something, it was just a jogger jogging by. Is a new code word or code phrase for the suspect is a black person in the crime, in the reported crime. Or instead of saying burglary or arson or murder even, like with David Dorn. Anyone remember him? Anyone know his name? But yeah, they're using it just a peaceful protest. David Dorn was just a victim of a mostly peaceful protest. David Dorn tried to intervene with some peaceful protesters that were just jogging by. So David Dorn tried to stop some joggers from jogging by, peaceful protesting or whatever. David Dorn was an agitator that tried to stop some joggers from peacefully protesting while jogging by. So whenever they say peaceful protester, they're referring to criminals committing crime. Not necessarily black, because most of them are actually white. Most of these criminals committing crimes like arson and looting and assault, aggravated assault with deadly weapons even, like slingshots and fireworks and Molotov cocktails and knives and sharpened umbrellas and whatnot, and chemicals are spraying from sprayers. That's felony aggravated assault, all that shit. But and most of that is actually being done by white people. So not trying to call out black people. A lot of goddamn good black people out there, folks. And there's a lot of damn good white people. So a lot of good white people Spanish people and black people in the Hero Nation out there, but the news media, instead of saying that a white guy burnt down the Minneapolis post office, they're like, well, some peaceful protesters and a jogger jogging by. Can I get what Joe Smith's saying here? And now they got a brand new one. Not the intended target, or not the intended victim. Anytime a person of color, if that's how you want to say it, or anytime a black person, or shoots and kills, or stabs and kills, or somehow kills another black person or another person of color, the victim of the murder is not the intended target of the jogger jogging by peacefully protesting. Because we all know Black Lives Matter, so a black would not kill another black person on purpose. So if a black person does kill another black person on purpose, it's not the intended target. Like today in Chicago, 24-year-old woman, just kind of got the basic story. They didn't mention the name. Didn't really mention if she's white or black or Spanish or anything like that, but they interviewed some co-workers that were all black and talked to other people that were all black, so pretty sure this woman was black. And they said that the shooter she just got done delivering mail to the one house and walked down the sidewalk out their gate to walk down the sidewalk to the next house and through their little gate up to their front door. But before she could, the car speeding by started firing shots out, and she got hit with multiple shots. And we're pretty sure that the whoever was in the car shooting was just a jogger jogging by, peacefully protesting. We're pretty sure of that. And despite her being killed from being shot multiple times, and she's the only person present on the entire street, WGN News is saying, well, she wasn't the intended target. And this ain't the first time Joe Smith heard that either. The past couple weeks, he's been hearing a lot of black-on-black shootings saying the victim was not the intended target. Between 90 and 92% of blacks killed in the last, from murder, not talking about like disease or illness or old age or accidents, anything like that, but 90 to 92% of blacks killed in the last 60 years have been killed, murdered by other blacks. And we're pretty sure that all those black murderers were actually just peaceful protesters jogging by, and that all the victims were not the intended target. Because Black Lives Matter, you know. And Joe Smith here is pretty goddamn sure that going to be hearing more in the news about joggers jogging by, peaceful protesters shooting or killing people that were not the intended target. So remember that when you're watching the news, when you hear them say that the victim was not the intended target, it means it was another black on black murder, like 92% of them are. Joe Smith here says, yeah, Black Lives Matter. So quit killing your own fucking people. Some of Joe Smith's best friends ever were black. As far as Joe Smith knows, they're still all alive somewhere in the country. Just kind of lost touch after school, but you know, it breaks Joe Smith's heart to find out that they were killed by another black person. So yeah, Black Lives Matter. So stop killing your own damn people. Start policing your own community. Don't wait for the cops. Do something about it. You see something, say something. But tomorrow's 9/11. Shout out to all the first responders, medics, firefighters, all that responded. The Twin Towers, the Pentagon, the crash in Pennsylvania. Shout out to all the victims that died. Shout out to the passengers on that plane that crashed in Pennsylvania for at least stopping it from killing more people, even though they sacrificed their own lives. So, stop the bullshit, people. Stop the violence. We're one race, the human race, remember? And yeah, like 90 to 92% of blacks are killed by blacks. And it's like 75%, maybe more, of whites are killed by whites. So the majority of whites are killed by whites. Majority of Hispanics are killed by Hispanics. And don't know what the actual percent is, but regardless of race, you're almost as likely or more likely to be murdered by someone you know, like a friend or relative or neighbor, than a complete stranger. So if it's jealousy or whatever, like, stop it, forget it. You can't take that shit with you when you die. So who fucking cares who has what? Stop the hate. Stop the violence. Everyone, stop killing your own people. Your own friends and family and neighbors. Then you go back to saying the Pledge of Allegiance or in schools and national anthem before games where everyone stands, not kneels. Unless you're in a wheelchair or on crutches or something. And on Sundays, we all go to Sunday school or church and read the Bible and give each other hugs and shit. Like America used to be back in the 80s and 90s. For all this hate and racism took over again. It's been Joe Smith. God bless. Signing out.